Hello out there, subscribers and friends. This is Surviving 2 coming at you with another video. Well, hello out there in YouTube land. Got a little project I'm working on. Been wanting a lid for my canteen cup and everything, so I got this old aluminum pie plate. What I did was take the canteen cup and set it down on the pie plate and marked it out around it. So far I've cut this out, and it's got a blue mark and a red mark on it. The red mark is going to be my cut line, or kinda. The blue mark is actually the cup itself. Getting a lot of reflection there. You can see some of it now. But anyway, this stuff is so thin but yet so strong I can just bend it with my fingers. So that is what I'm hoping to do, is take this, put it down on there like that, and get it lined up with where I wanted it. Pull it out here to the edge and just start forming it like this. I gotta make sure I'm right on the edge. And then I'm going to take and cut off some of this excess. So let me get to working on it, and I'll get back with you when I get a little further along. Okay, I got the rough shape done. As you see, I had to waffle it to get it to fold on up. Some of the corners, some of the edges are a little uneven, but I'm fixing to solve that here real quick. I'll just take a piece of wood and tap it down. And that should get it to seal down a little better. It's not perfect yet, but I'm getting there. So that is what it's turning out to look like right there. And what I'll end up doing now is trimming some of this edge off and trying to get it to sit down a little better. I ended up having to take a pair of needle nose and bend it back and forth, kind of like that, ever so often, to get it to go ahead and fold up. I mean, it's not perfect, but hey, I'm not after perfect. I'm after functional. So once I get it cut down, it should sit on there pretty good. I'll go ahead and work on that and get back with you in a minute. Well, I've got it. I actually went ahead and sealed it down to the cup and squeezed it with a pair of needle nose and a pair of side cutters, and now I've at least got it to the shape. I mean, I can try and straighten some of that out, but that probably really doesn't even matter, as long as I get these sides back straight to where I can just set the lid down on there. We'll see how that works. The problem trying to do this is kind of like my other lid I did. I got more metal trying to go into an area where there should be less metal. In other words, it wants to fold over on itself, so that's why I had to waffle it, and I got it sealed here. So let me go ahead and go on with it, and we'll see how this turns out. Alright, I've taken a hammer and put it point up like that, and I've got my metal stainless steel bar here. It's flat and rounded, and I use it to hammer and do stuff. Well, I took my plate and put it on there, and just took my hand and did it like that. Let's see if I can get this up there. I got most of the crinks and crinkles and all that out, but it's fairly flat and it'll do fairly good. Now this is kind of weighty and uneven, so what I'm going to do is take a pair of tin snips to it and knock down the high spots, and then that should be pretty much it, because right now it sits down on there pretty good. Now all I need to do is have something to lift it up with. I could use tin foil. I could have used tin foil. I wanted something a little more permanent. I'm going to take this and probably put it down in the bottom of the canteen pouch and then put that on top of it, so that way it'll ride in there and hopefully it won't get too bent up. But I've got an idea on a holder, and I'll go ahead and trim this edge off and get back with you in a minute. Okay, I got the top trimmed up, made it a little flatter, a little neater. Just went ahead and eyeballed it, took a pair of tin snips after it, actually this pair, because I'm left-handed but I do some things right-handed. So, and I took all these little shavings off. So now what I want to do is I want to be able to use this also to strain with. So I'm going to put a bunch of holes in it on one corner or the other. I'll think about which one I'm going to put it in, and then I'll work on the handle too, and I'll get back with you. Okay, I've got the holes put in the end of it there. Now I'm trying to locate where I need to put the handle, and what I've done is just taken a piece of duct tape and doubled it over on itself and only got it attached in one little spot. So when I pick up the lid, you see it's off, so I know that my point of contact is off. So I need to move it back a little because it's too heavy on this one side. Nope, still a little too heavy. Alright, move it back just a smidgen more. And now I got it too heavy on the other end. Alright, so I went too far with it. That's getting close. Still need to go back just a smidgen. Nope, not enough yet. Let's see. Let me think about that. It's heavy on that end. Yeah, I need to go away from me. Let's go to there. That's almost right. I mean, that is really close. Right there should be it. There we go. Perfect. Now I just leave that tape on there and I'll mark, make sure I got it back in the right. Nope, didn't. Must have moved it just a smidgen. Too heavy on this end. Close. Ah. Didn't get it sealed down. That's it right there. So now I'm just going to take and mark that point right there and that point right there. That's where my handle needs to be, is right in between those 2 points. That's a easy way of finding center, because if you're building it and wanting to put the handle in there, you can easily get it off center. So now I got my 2 marks, and I'll continue on with the handle. Back in a minute. Okay, I found what I needed for my handle for the top. Got an old D-ring I'm going to scrounge up. I've taken a piece of metal and cut it, and what I'm going to do, it slips right inside there, and it's going to give some room for the D-ring. Now let me see if I'm on camera. What I'm going to do is just kind of eyeball about center and fold that up to where it's about the same. Now then, I'm going to take a pair of needle nose and just crimp it right there. And crimp it right there. Now that allows it to move still. Get it flat up against the... There we go. That's pretty flat right there. Now then, it's uneven down here, which I'll solve that problem in just a second here. There we go. Now I got a flat piece of metal. It's bound up here, and the D-ring still moves. So now what I got to do, get rid of these 2 pieces of scrap. Okay, now what I got to do is I'm going to have to cut a slot in this lid so that this will go down in there, and then I'll take these 2 pieces and bend them opposite directions of one another and use that to hold the lid, hold the handle and hold the lid, and it'll just be a friction fit. So I got to get my cutting tool out for my Dremel, and I'll get it hooked up and get me a slot cut in there, and I'll get back to you. Alright, I've got it cut out. Got my Dremel hanging up here, and I got a flex bit on it. I put a cutter in there. Let me lock it down and fall, and then swing this thing out of the way. There we go. Now that's up out of the way. I got my slot cut. Take some emery cloth and just kind of knock some of the rough edges down on it. Now then, the metal, just take it and slip it in there. Yep, there it goes. Make sure I got it seated all the way. So now I got 2 pieces back here, and I'm gonna take the metal and I'm gonna pull it one way so that it flips this. Whoop, let me get it on camera so you can see. Alright, I'm gonna take this piece back here, or the top side I guess you could say, and pull it one way so that it flips these up. So that way, when I take and force that piece down, It's going to be putting it in a bind. Now, there's that one. That one's down. Now I've got my metal shoved to one side. Now I'm going to take it and shove it to the other side. And I don't know if I can do this on camera or not, but I'm going to shove it to the other side and then force this one down. And I need to get it closer to me to do it. Alright, and then I just straighten out my handle a little bit. Make sure I get it straight, holding these back here. And then there it is. There's my handle. And there's how it's attached. It's just a friction fit. So now then, I'm all done. It'll lay down flat. I'll have the strainer if I need it, and I can also, that will set straight up. It's that much of a friction fit. Hopefully not too much heat will transfer from the lid to here. If it does, I can still use, it's big enough I can put a stick or something like that in there. Well, there it is. Now y'all are welcome to try this if you want. It's not that hard. And as always, I want to thank you for subscribing, thank you for watching, and thanks for the kind comments y'all put a lot of the times. I do appreciate it out there. And until I see you on the next one, y'all take care. Later. I want to thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more in the future that I put out, just subscribe. Until then, later.